Matty, your first reflections on the Yorkshire Cup semi-final defeat? I imagine the scoreline probably doesn't reflect the game as a whole.
It probably doesn't. I thought the first half, I thought we played really well in the first half, actually, to be fair, into the wind. We held the ball really well, but we just weren't really kind of clinical at kind of like times. We had probably 2 opportunities and we didn't take them. And we gave up, obviously, an intercept pass again. And then one missed tackle, but obviously it's probably just the kind of difference between the two kind of leagues is that if you get opportunities you take them, and obviously we have the opportunity but we just didn't take it and we couldn't put any kind of scoreboard pressure on. So unfortunately we kind of let ourselves down in a couple of areas, but in parts we played really well. But the Driffield was just a lot more clinical at the end of the day, and they've probably been put in those kind of situations a lot more, and they obviously showed their kind of class.
So there are still positives to take despite the defeat, and obviously they're pushing at the top end of the Regional 1 North East table, so that they're naturally going to have the edge on your side, but you're still going to take positives despite the result.
Yeah, exactly. The boys worked really hard. They worked really hard for 80 minutes. And the best thing is that we probably, outside of probably the 2 intercept tries, we actually made them kind of like work hard as well. We didn't kind of give up kind of like too many kind of easy tries. Their tries were really good and clinical, and a couple of offloads. But yeah, we just need to probably take a couple of learnings from it. I think the way that they attacked really deep, ran onto the ball well, offloaded kind of really well, and support play. So that was really good. But yeah, I think the lads, our scrum went really well, the lineouts went really well. Up against obviously a kind of a bigger pack and a few kind of old heads, which I was really impressed with from our point of view. So there's definitely positives to take out. It's not one of these kind of games that you kind of come off losing and you think, oh, like we got kind of like, we didn't kind of play really well, or they kind of like beat us fair and square, and we actually kind of played really well, but unfortunately they just kind of like were real clinical in kind of times, and we need to kind of show that in the next couple of weeks.
Talk to me about how the lads are doing in the dressing room at the moment. I imagine one of the major positives, and that will probably be for quite a lot of people, is the fact that you've not picked up any long-lasting injuries, which for you is huge with a massive running coming up.
Yeah, and obviously kind of we got Gogsy back after his kind of layoff with his ankle as well, which was really good. Nico got some time. And then a couple of young lads, obviously Woolley kind of coming back and play really well off the bench. Tiernan got kind of like 10, 15 minutes at the end of the game, which was obviously fantastic for us and as a club, and himself and his family and stuff like that. And we spoke about it at the end, is that obviously the journey that he's been on, it's fantastic that we've kind of seen it over the last kind of 4 or 5 years, and to be a part of him kind of being able to kind of take the field and play was emotional for everyone. And it was fantastic that he didn't kind of shy off or anything. He went in and made probably about 10 tackles in the space of probably about 3 minutes, and so that was really good to see, and that's a good buzz around the kind of the team, and around the kind of lads seeing and feeling and being involved in something like that, as well as obviously the occasion of being involved in the Yorkshire Cup semi-final for the first time was great for the lads, and we'll take those kind of enjoyments out of the game.
2 more from me, Matty. Firstly, the crowd today, probably our biggest crowd of the season. Really great to see so many numbers here, that they really got behind your side, especially in the first half.
Yeah, and obviously Driffield are a great kind of team and a really good bunch of lads, and we've always got on really well. It's obviously a shame we're out of the leagues, but to have the opportunity for the 2 kind of like local kind of teams to play against each other is always great, and to host that, it was being fantastic. And obviously after the last kind of 6 games, it was going to be kind of a close kind of contested kind of game, but unfortunately we just kind of didn't really kind of put that kind of scoreboard pressure on against us, and we kind of chased a little bit too hard. So, but no, it's great, and it's always fantastic for the club, with obviously the England game on now as well, that it's great to kind of be involved in.
And just finally, you're going to have some really tough decisions to make ahead of next weekend's game against Glossop at home. I imagine a couple of players' performances today have probably given you a headache ahead of that game, but it's good to have that, isn't it, really, ahead of what is a massive game. 4 tries are needed if you're going to want to boost your chances of staying up.
Yeah, exactly. We need to go out and win the game, to be fair. We need to have a good week. We spoke about it. We kind of celebrate kind of today and tonight for the occasion. And then come Tuesday, we knuckle down. Sammy D kind of spoke about it. It's a bit of a wake-up call for us. We can't go plain sailing until the end of the season. We've still got jobs to do. And that kind of starts next week when we kind of try for kind of 7 in a row in the league. Glossop beat us at their spot, so we know that they're going to be kind of a tough ask, and we need to make sure that we kind of hit the ground kind of running come Tuesday, Thursday, and then ready for Saturday.